Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's pick up this camera a little bit. Good morning. All right. We'll wait just a minute to let everyone get in, and then we will get started. All right. You guys had a good morning? You guys have a good morning so far? Good weekend? Nice start to the week. Monday, fresh. Ready to make some money. Ooh, what's the short of? Oh, give me just a second. What's the short float here on TANH? The only ticker that I am in right now is TANH, and I'll go over that in just a second, but I'm trying to check the short float here on TANH. I'm pulling up my trade ideas. Wait just a minute to let everyone come in, and then short float 27%. Nice. Love to see that. All right, so top stock that I'm watching today, TANH, or the one that I'm at least in for right now. We know that pennies are hot, right? And the reason why I'm in this trade, oh wow, 128% short float on FinViz for TANH. Sorry guys, I gotta fact check this. Whew. Wow, that's fun. So that could be fun. That could be really fun. We saw what happened with BCAN. But yeah, so the reason why I'm in TANH right now, I didn't know about that big short float, but that's great to have. You guys can see we had a previous run on this stock as well. Now, when I saw this pop up, the first thing I did look for is that, did we run previously? Did we run recently? And obviously I saw that, right? So buyers stepping in from previous areas. Now I'm looking at for this kind of 90-cent area to become into support where this old supply was. Now, why is this an A+ setup to me? Reason being is because we have this low, right? So we talk about high volume protected candles. Now, if you look at TANH, right? If you look at TANH, we have a candle that made a new high, and we have a lot of volume on this candle. That means this is big money coming into the candle, whether it's retail, whether it's bigger money as in market makers, algorithms, whatever it is, right? What happens is we typically look for liquidity grabs either to the downside or to the upside. So if you have a liquidity grab to the upside, right, like we did not really over here, but if we have a liquidity grab to the upside, then shorts have control. But if we have liquidity grab to a downside, meaning we have a low, we crack below the low, grab all the stop losses, okay, and start to move back up and make this support again. This is basically an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so we have a low, we have a stop loss raid, meaning all the retail gets out and big money remains in the trade. They stop them out and they look for that next leg. That's why I'm looking for new high day on the stock again. Because based on liquidity, based on just grabbing stop losses, market makers grab retail stop losses here. They wanted to accumulate more shares, which they did. And then now I think they target the next liquidity zone, which is over high day at 120, 121. So I'm looking for this breakout over 97.35 towards 110 and then towards 121. And we should be getting that here on TANH. So I have limits all the way up to high day. That's what I'm looking to get out at. But I think we have a lot of room on the stock, so I'm holding on to this one. Other than that, let's see what we have on the watch today. Right here, just going to be holding on to TANH for that bigger move. Not selling for little pennies. Let's see what we have on the list today. We got some time. All right, so what do we want on TANH? Let me kind of go over this one more time. TANH, we get a 5-minute candle close in right about 2 minutes. Okay, right about 2 minutes. So we want to see a 5-minute candle close over 97.35, start to gap towards 110, make 97.35 new support for that room to 121. All right. Top setup that I'm looking at today, Clipper, relax. Right now I'm in TANH, so we'll go through a few other watch lists. All right, we'll go through a few other stocks to kind of see what we're looking at. But let's check out EDBL. All right. Actually, let's go over FFIE first. So FFIE, we talked about this stock on Friday, and I said that we talked about high or low uptrend, and I said that FFIE, this is probably gonna break these levels and be the top of the day. That's exactly what happened. So if you guys came into the stream on Friday, you knew exactly what was going on here. We said this is going to be the top. Why is that? You go to the weekly chart and you look for where did this whole supply run start from? And it started from this candle. So that's going to be where liquidity is sitting at, right? So if this whole run started here, where's the consolidation before the run? Quite literally right here, right? So they broke it. They grabbed all the stop losses. They grabbed all the liquidity right here. And they sent it all the way back down, right? So I hope you guys understood what happened on FFIE. Am I a fan of FFIE today? Probably not, just because from a larger perspective, we are making a head and shoulders, right? We have a shoulder right here. We have a head right here. We broke below this low, so not really an A+ head and shoulders, but still, you know, it's still, we talked about that FFIE rejection right here. I'm not a huge fan. We'll just kind of avoid, I'm probably going to avoid it today. I'll watch it just to see if there's volume in that stock. If there's volume, then I'll just watch it for volume rotation. Not a huge fan, right? Especially because it's up so much. I like to trade fresh stocks like we are on TNH. Super fresh, right? Nothing. It still has room to run. How much room does FFI really have to run? If it's up 7,000%, how much room does it really have to run, right? It can provide scalp opportunities, but can't really hope for a 200, 300% run on this. But on something like TNH, or just something that hasn't ran yet, right? You can get nice opportunities. So let's see what else is running. SCP X, another penny that's running today. Okay, so now on SCP X, I was actually watching it last week, on Friday, but it didn't make a move, and it is now. So it's pretty impressive. The reason why I was watching it was because we see a lot overall, just a lot of selling pressure. Overall, a lot of selling pressure, right? You guys can see that we have a dump here, we have a dump here, and just overall shorts unloading their boat. That's what we talk about, right? Shorts or longs showing their hand, and obviously shorts were showing their hand right here. So what I was looking for is something like this, right? We have this is what I had marked out actually. This is what I had marked out, and the reason for that is because this is kind of that price gap, all right? This is that price gap. So we have selling pressure. This is where we maxed out at. So once we flip this supply into demand, we are looking for this area of 10 cents to turn into support. It did not. It broke below, but obviously that was just a liquidity grab for that bigger move up. So SCPX is going to be a watch today, especially breaking through all these highs. Let's check out the larger time frame here on the weekly. So we're at 15. I would look for just looking at support right here on the weekly, right here. Just looking at support on the weekly. Let's go to the smaller time frame. Okay, perfect. So now what I would look for on SCPX is a break below 14.51. You guys can see where I got this line from on the weekly, right? Super, super nice support here. Nice wicks, nice support. And then we're using the candle close. Okay, so that's where we have our two lines from. If we reclaim 16.47 on the weekly, we have room back up to 26 cents, which is a lot of freaking room to run. And that's what I mean. Okay, would you rather trade a stock like FFIE, or would you trade a fresh new stock with room to run right here? Let's see. Would you rather trade a stock with that has fresh penny stock with 80% room to run, or FFIE, just kind of more of a headache stock, right? I personally stay away from headaches, and I like my SCP X and TANH, okay? So what I would be looking for on SCP X is this right here. I would look for a consolidation, break below 1451, grab liquidity, reclaim this line all the way back up to 21 cents. This is what I would look for. Not saying that this is going to happen guaranteed, but this is the plan on the stock. If this plays out, if this grabs liquidity below 1451, if this happens, I'm looking to take an entry. Okay, that's the A+ setup for me here. All right, that should be pretty clear. All right, is the plan clear here? Let me know, yes or no. Do you guys understand why I got these key levels and why we break below? The reason why we break below is because we look for liquidity, right? So every retail trader, right? Let me explain liquidity. Every retail trader has their stop loss below 1451. Every retail trader, they're like, okay, this is support. If it breaks support, boom, it's going to dump. But that's why it doesn't dump, simply because every single retail trader has their stop loss here. And if every single retail trader has their stop loss here, that means there's liquidity sitting here. That means there's open order sitting here. So what happens is you get something like this. You break below, grab all the orders from market makers, and start to head back up to the next liquidity zone, which would be high day and 25 cents. When do I decide daily versus weekly? Good question. I look at both. I look at the weekly first. If there's nothing really on the weekly, then I'll drop down to the daily. But I like to get a piece of both just to understand where we're sitting at on the daily chart. But right here, you guys can see, we have room from right here, 16 cents, all the way back up to 24 cents. So if we reclaim 16.18, we have clear room back up to 24. But that's a big if. All right, so let's take that look at TANH, see what we're doing here. All right, we have this constant uptrend that we're looking at. All right, so still looking good here on TANH for that 110, 120 next. All right, this is the only stock that I'm in right now for the people tuning in. What else is there? There's GTBP. So GTBP, I don't see any news on the list right here. You guys can see it. Don't see a PR. Yeah, I'll go over to CRKN in a bit. Hold up. So what do we like here? Let's talk about liquidity. Okay, let's talk about liquidity. So now, where does liquidity sit? For all the people that tune in every single day, where does liquidity sit? I usually give you guys a hint, but where does liquidity sit? Let's get that question. Where does liquidity sit? Where does liquidity sit? Yes, below lows and above highs. So above highs and below lows. So we have, first thing that we do is mark out the high. Ooh. Mark out the high, mark out the low, right? That's what we do in order to find liquidity zones, right? To see what the market is doing. What is the market doing? So we found the high and we found the low. Okay. Now we have a high here and we have not broken out this high. So what does that mean? What does that mean? We haven't broken the highs. That means market makers have not grabbed liquidity to the upside. So in other words, there's still liquidity remaining up here. Okay? Right? There's still liquidity remaining up there. There's still liquidity, right? So now we come back and test the low or the previous high, grab liquidity, and where do we target? We know there's leftover liquidity over here, right? We know there's leftover liquidity. So we go from 428, we target next liquidity and break right through it. And then what happens? We make this old liquidity area the new support zone, okay? And this is called a market structure shift. So now we have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now, what did we talk about on FFIE? What is an uptrend? An uptrend is simply a higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, okay? Now, what happens here is once you continue to have that higher low, higher high, you top out and then you fail to make a higher high. So instead of making a higher high, you make a lower high, and that's how you start the downtrend. And that's exactly what's going on here. Downtrend has started on GTBP. So anything on this trade is backside right now. I think we need to come down to 551 at this equal low, and that's when we'll start to have that money trade. But you guys can clearly see higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Where's the higher low? It's not here. And then you start the downtrend, okay? So that's pretty clear. GTBP is now in a downtrend rather than an uptrend. So now you look for trades that are in a downtrend. So now GTBP probably coming down to 561, and that's what we're looking for on GTBP. Is that clear why I like GTBP down here? Right? We're going over the fundamentals, but I hope you guys understand it. Fundamental trade. You guys understand that? How I use market structure on GTBP to determine that we are no longer in an uptrend and now we are in a downtrend. We're going down. Right? We're marketing. We're chasing the downside liquidity. Is that clear? Let me know in chat. I want to make sure you guys are learning. So you need to be doing this analysis live as we speak on every single trade, right? As you guys are trading live, as we're charting live, I want you guys to be doing the analysis as well. So you're actually learning what's going on. TANH, great liquidity grab for us, right? We kind of had some selling pressure come in. We grabbed all the stop losses below this low, and we're starting to head back up towards 97. I think we see 110 pretty easily next year on TANH. So like I said, this is the only trade I'm in. We should be able to get a breakout here soon, okay? So once again, we went over that, let me show you guys why I got the level. So TANH, we go to the weekly chart, you see 97, high volume candle, right? 97.35. Once we make this support, we have room to 110. And once we make that support, we have room to 120. And once we make that support, we have room to 160, right? Along with a 120% short float. So that's absolutely insane, okay? So that's why I am long on the stock. Now let's move on to, you had a question on GTBP, but why wouldn't it come down lower? The reason why I say it's going to come down to 561, now it's not guaranteed, but I'm talking about from a market trend, why it would come down to 561 is because this is the new structure, right? So this is old structure from 440 to 550. This is old structure, all right? This is where we had old structure, the low and the high. Once we break over it, now this is new structure. This is the new base on the stock. So now that this is the new base, and this is where we went. So now we come back to the base, grab liquidity below the base, and head back up. Does that make sense? Why it would come down here? Because this is the new base. So now we look for this whole area to flip into support. All right, that's going to be our support area because this is the new base. That's why. Lowy, I'm not sure about anything. I'm just going over my experience and kind of showing you guys what I understand about the market. But nothing is guaranteed in the market. Everything is probability, and I like to take high probability setups. And I see a high probability setup trade there, and that's why I'm taking it. But nothing is guaranteed in the market. Remember that. Other than that, let's go over. So we went over GTBP, went over TANH. Right, we're looking good here. 5-minute candle close over. We went over SCP X. Right, we went over FFIE that I'm not trading it. What else do you guys want to go over? I'm getting a few requests about CRKN. So now, obviously, penny theme kind of dumped on Friday evening. All right, we saw penny theme kind of die down. FFIE came down with it. CRKN came down with it. Now this penny theme is starting to heat up again, right? We got a nice move on the penny stocks, right? So that's why another reason why I'm trading FFIE. One thing I do want to show is that we had an ascending triangle breakout pattern on Friday on CRKN, and we failed it. So that's why I say trading patterns are not guaranteed, by the way. Trading patterns are not guaranteed. They're set by market makers, but, you know, this is not a guaranteed pattern at all. So what's going on right now? With CRKN, sorry, apologies. So let's mark it out. So we see selling pressure come in here, just doing a live analysis, right? We see selling pressure come in here. Buyers scoop it up, okay? Buyers scoop up half of that selling pressure. So what does that tell me? That tells me that there is a lot of buyers sitting here. All right, now I have a question for everyone on the stream. What happened here? We had buyers step in here. What happened here? Tell me. something happened here that we go over all the time. Buyers at the lows. There's two things that happen here. We have a high, what happened here, and we have a low and what happened here. Explain it to me. Every single person in the chat right now. Every single person, what happened there? Tell me, every single person, what happened there? We're getting that $1 break here soon on TANH. And that one break here. What happened here? Okay, liquidity sweeps, stop loss hunts. That's what we preach. Stop loss hunts. That's when A+ setup trades come. So when is the A+ setup for a short? After they grab liquidity. When is an A+ setup for a long? After they break the low, grab liquidity, and take that. So now what is the A+ setup here on CRKN? Most people are chasing CRKN. I still think it needs to retest 15. I still think there's leftover liquidity there because we broke out. We haven't retested this. So personally, either we come down here and reclaim, okay? I think we either come down here towards 15 area, okay? Or we make this high support. All right, let's go down to the smaller time frame. All right, so now either, because you see we haven't retested this low. So I think that there's still leftover liquidity sitting right here. So either we test this low, or if there's so much buying pressure, we do something like this, okay? But A+ setup, where's the A+ setup and better risk reward? There's no retest here. There's leftover, this whole gap. There's a whole, from here to here, there's a whole price gap, right? Nothing has tested it. So where's the A+ setup? Trade number 1, right here, or trade number 2? Which is a better trade? Let me know. Trade number 1 or trade number 2? What's a better setup? Trade number 1. Exactly. So now, does it make sense to be patient? It makes sense to be patient, right? Now, most traders are not going to be patient for either a trade number 1 setup, and that's why most traders aren't profitable, because they simply cannot wait. And that's the hardest part about trading. Trading is the hardest part. Trade number 1 is a better setup. That is the answer. Trade number 1 is the better setup, but trade number 2 is still an opportunity. Don't get me wrong. Trade number 2 is still a good opportunity, but the better A++ setup is trade number 1, because we still have price gaps and we still need to fill this liquidity, okay? So I'm not saying it's guaranteed. If penny market is hot, right, more liquidity is going to roll into the market, and we're not going to necessarily need that. But from a liquidity perspective, from a just understanding the market, we do need to fill this liquidity right here, okay? So on CRKN, there's 2 trade opportunities. Either we come down to 16 cents and then make that move back up to highs, or we reclaim 24. We dip down to 24, reclaim that, and get that trade opportunity here, okay? So there's 2 trade setups, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We have another question for CYN. We'll do a little bit rapid fire now. We're getting a few questions here about stocks. So a few analysis on stocks. Let's see a 30-minute chart. You guys can see that although CYN and these other stocks was a big watch for me last week on Friday, we only traded 2 stocks, right? We traded 2 stocks, BURU from 31 all the way to 39, which I made around 10 grand on, and JFBR, this was a 12 grand trade. That's why when I preach that I only take A+ setups, I practice that as well. A+ setup, A+ setup. And that's why I was able to capitalize and have confidence in my trades, because I can put more money into my A+ setups, right? My mental capital is not getting wasted on stupid trades. So focus on A+ setups. Now let's look at CYN. CYN, once again, pennies kind of dumped on Friday. So not the strongest setup right now. I still think that we're in backside. What I would look for on CYN is a breakout and retest, something like this, okay? Something like this. The reason for that is because we have a sort of downtrend break now. All right, so once we get this downtrend breakout, we can retest this liquidity zone for that move back up to 19. I think we have room to 19.5. Okay, I think we have room to 19.5. So do keep eyes on that. Let me write this. I like to write down my pre-market plans as well. That's what I'm doing right now on the stocks. And then after I get off live, I'll compile these stocks. So that's what I'm doing. I want you guys to write it down too. To see, so what do? I write these stocks down, okay? And then I see how they played out, and that's how I can review my trades after market open. After market close. Okay, so that's how I review my trades. So I want everyone to mark down the key levels and everything that we've been talking about. Give me a second. I'll go over the stocks that you guys want. Just need to write this down. What I'm looking for on these stocks. And put on watch. All right. All right. So that's okay. We're looking good here on TANH. We're getting that. Oh, okay, perfect. We just got this first 5-minute candle close over 97.35 resistance. So what does that mean? We should be able to gap up to 110 pretty soon, right? Candle close means strength. So once again, this is the only stock that I'm in for right now on pre-market. I'm looking for that $1 breakout towards 110. And we should be able to get that pretty soon because we just got this 97.35 candle close, right? So we closed over resistance. We're talking about it down here. I'm looking for that next leg for that $1 breakout, psychological, for it to hit scanners, for more liquidity to come in, right? So if you have good entries, you just sell to the people at 110, 120, and you hold on to your trade, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at. What else is there? What else you guys want to go over? Let's see. CETX, I'll go over that. We went over CYN. NKGN, I think people want to talk about that one. Oh, well, I have a zone from before you guys can see. Let's see where I got this zone from. Perfect. All right, so this is from before. Okay, this zone is from before. But what do you guys see here? This zone came from the weekly chart. Okay, you guys can see that we have this support right here. We have this previous buyers here. So now NKGN is actually a really nice setup. We want to see 140 hold. And where would price targets be? Back up to 192. Just based off price analysis and candle analysis, right? So stock market moves from level to level, from liquidity to liquidity, from liquidity pool to liquidity pool. I cannot emphasize that enough. We are getting a breakout here on TANH. We're looking for that 110 next. Let's get that 110 next, all right? Let's see it, come on. Get those. See, now it's coming on scanners. Now people are going to start to chase it, okay? People are going to start to chase this now. Nice move so far. So let's see if we can get that next leg over 110, 120, and just keep riding on to stock, right? I'm holding on just because I know how big that short float is. So while we go over this, while we go over the rest of the stocks, just remember TANH is the only one we're in right now. What else? What else? What else do you guys want me to go over? What were we going over? Sorry, this stock is taking my attention. MMV. All right, I'm going to let you guys lead the way now. I'm going to ask you guys questions. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? And what's going on here? And what's going on here? Tell me. I have not going over SGD. SGD was a speculation play. It was nothing crazy about that one. What's going on here? Explain this to me. Explain this to me, everyone here. What's going on here? Let me know. From this level to this level, right? And then dump down to this level, reject at this level, and come back now to this level. What's going on? That's all we talk about. That's all we talk about. I want everyone to answer to let me know you guys are paying attention. Yes. All right. Now everyone's understanding. Liquidity grab, liquidity grab, liquidity gap. Yes. We have a low here. Okay. We have a high volume low, and we break a high. We grab liquidity, stop losses, and we start to send back down. We break below the low, grab stop losses, head back up to next liquidity. We reject liquidity, head back to the next liquidity, grab stop losses, head back to the next liquidity. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Is that clear on what's going on? You guys understand what's going on here? Liquidity to liquidity to liquidity to liquidity to liquidity. That's all it moves. That's what I keep saying. Market moves in liquidity zones. So next trade on here, 108. This is, what is this called? This is a range trade. This is called a range trade. So one range to the next 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 range. So how do you know what an A+ setup is now on this stock? All you look for is either a breakout and a retest, or a breakout and retest. This is where longs enter for a big move up. This is where shorts enter for a big move down. Is that clear? Is that clear? What's going on, MMV? This should be pretty clear. Nice holds on TA Nature. Let's get that breakout, baby. Let's get that breakout. Who's ready for this breakout on TANH? Who's ready for it? Let me know in chat. You guys ready for this 110 breakout? Who's ready? Who's ready for this 110 breakout? Come on, baby. You know you got it in you. You know you have it in you. It's all good. If you guys missed the entry, don't chase it. Don't chase it. But we're still looking for that bigger move. Let's see. What else is there? NBY. NBY. Rejecting key levels right now. Not the best. I'm just trying to see what else to watch right now. So give me a second. Sint. Kind of seeing some stuff. So Sint. Okay, nice. Not bad. Not bad. What did I just do? What did I just do here? What did I just do here? Marked out my what? Marked out which zones? Which zones did I just mark out here on SINT? Liquidity zone. We have a low. We have a candle close. We have a low. We break below the low. Stop loss hunt. We don't know this from before, but this is a stop loss hunt after you see it. Pull back, reclaim into this level. Reclaim into this level. Start to move back up. Now, what are we looking for? Where's the target now? Where is the target now? Where's the target now? Towards next liquidity. So we're looking for a trade opportunity right here. This is, let me change this color green on Sint. And I'll write this down. Once we break below this low, 11.6, and I see it hold, targeting 13.26 for a trade opportunity of 20%. Where's my stop loss going to be? Under this low. Price target's going to be above this high. 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio trade can potentially form on Sint. What are you guys thinking? Is this a good trade to take when it occurs? Not right now. Not right now, but when it occurs, is this a good trade to take? Will this be a good risk to reward to take? Once this occurs, not right now, but from a 1 to 5, would you take that all day or not? I would. I would take that 1 to 5 trade. And why is it a high quality setup? Why is it a high quality setup? Simply being, we grab liquidity below this low. We grab liquidity below this low. Now we're just looking to target the higher liquidity. Once we fill orders here, there's nothing to do except target next liquidity, which would be right here, because they already grabbed all the liquidity here. So if this plays out, if we see a lower wick here on Sint, all right, looking for something like this. All right, that's what we would look for. Is that plan clear? You guys understand why I got this stock line, why I got this line? All right, you guys understand that? This is where next liquidity is sitting, above 13.5. Perfect. Is this clear how I got this level? This should be pretty clear. Okay, now what else is there? What other questions you guys have? Oh, we have 7 minutes left, so I'm about to head towards market open now. I'm heading towards the Discord now because we're getting close to market open. I hope you guys understood what's going on. Yes, so TNH plan, this is what we look for now. Into open, if 97 becomes support, right? If 97 becomes support, watch the stock. Reason, there's 100 and I can't chart Zakia. I don't know if it comes up here. No, it won't come up here. Sorry. But we're looking at 97 cents to become support. So if this becomes support and this uptrend holds, we know that we're trading from liquidity to liquidity. So we grab liquidity. We're targeting next high here at 120. You guys can see that we have an uptrend here. And we're just looking for that next leg soon here on TNH. So 128% short float. So this can be a big squeezer play today. So do keep it on watch. Watch the other stocks as well. I need to write down Sint. Okay. And I'm about to head towards the Discord right now for live trading. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys learned something. Stop loss would be down to break even around 90 cents. I'm looking to let this play out. All right. So don't take this just because, it's a mini set it. Have your own thesis behind it. If it makes sense to you, take the trade. If not, don't take it. All right. So I'm going to live trading right now. We're going to look for nice plays into market open. We're going to look for A+ setups. We're going to be patient. I want everyone to be patient. I want everyone to focus on A+ setups. I want everyone to mark out liquidity zones, right? Take trades after liquidity grabs, okay? Don't rush into stupid trades. Don't rush into, don't use your mental capital on horrible trades. Make sure that you guys are taking A+ setups. So if you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you guys drop a like. Please subscribe to the channel. We have tons of content coming out. We want to see this $1 psychological level hold. That would be big for this stock. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. If you guys want to trade live with me right now, check out the link right here, links right here. And you guys can, top link in the description, check it out. We're about to join live trading. So I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I'll be streaming on Wednesday. Once again, every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So please tune in. Other than that, it's been Minnie. Peace.